Hey there, hope you're doing well. In this video, let's talk a little bit about performance and scalability of applications and see, I just want to share my 2 cents on it, right? And you obviously would know what the differences between those two terms are, but I'm just going to state the obvious. Performance is how your application, I'm just, again, you can look up actual definitions of these, but I'm going to tell you in practical terms. Performance, when someone says performance of an application, if it's slow or fast, it means for a given a single user, right? It doesn't have to be single, but it's not a bad way to look at it. For a single user, when they're using the application, whether it's a web app or a mobile app, or if if the user is not human, and if it's another system and it's making a request to a second system, how long does it take for that request for them to receive that response, right? Let's keep it very simple. Let's say I'm a human user. I'm going to the web app. I'm clicking on a certain button. I'm expecting a certain response, right? The page should refresh or change to whatever it is that needs to end up showing. What is the time that request takes? Does it take like 200 milliseconds? Does it take half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds, or more? That's you can look at that in simple terms as the performance of the application. Is it slow? Is it all right? Is it fast? Is it super fast, right? Or super fast is how it should be, and then you can go downward saying it's not that fast, not good enough, terrible, and really slow. So that's, you can look at that as the performance, right? That's there's many ways to measure, and there's metrics, and there's a ton of information from a technical standpoint that goes into each of these terminologies. But let's just talk like layman. That's essentially the performance of your application. What is scalability? Scalability is, let's say when I go use the application as a single user, things work beautifully fine, right? They're lovely. But when more users start making those requests, let's say, Facebook is the other end of the example. I don't know, maybe they have like 2 billion requests a day or some, I guess they have 2 billion plus users. They must have some insane number of requests in any given second, right? So how does scalability means, does your application continue to perform, not crash, but continue to perform, respond, and behave just fine as there's more load on that system? That load could be more people using the system, because if it could be peak hours. For Facebook, probably it's peak hours throughout the day, just given how popular they are, and everyone in the world pretty much is using them in all parts in geographically dispersed regions. But there could be other applications that might be regionalized, that could be just used in the United States, maybe in just your state, whatever it is, right? And they could have certain peak hours, right? So it could be just Monday through Friday 9 to 5, or Monday through Friday 9 to 11 in the morning. Those could be peak hours for your systems. At those points of time, does your application scale? Meaning, as more people start using it and making requests, how does it behave? What's the response time? Do you run into errors and exceptions, or do you just get the response? It just takes a long time for it to come, so you see the spinners and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's scalability. So typically you see them used together. It's more often than not people say performance and scalability, because they're related in some ways and not related in some other ways. So let's take an example. I'm just going to draw some parallels and pick an analogy here, and take all of them with a grain of salt, like you should almost always do with whatever it is that I say, because sometimes they turn out to be decent examples and other times maybe not so much, right? So let's say you take a car, right? Like Ferrari, right? Like a sports car. It seats 2 people, I think, right? I don't know, some of them seat like more people, but they seat 2 people. Sorry, I was just distracted looking outside. They seat 2 people, and they're meant to serve 2 people, and they're really quick, right? So 0 to 60 miles an hour might be like 1.5 seconds or some insane number like that. So they are performant, right? They are beautifully performing machines. But when it comes to scalability, right, how scalable are they? And this may not be a great example, that's why I had the caveat at the beginning, but let's see how it goes, right? If you have more people, let's say you put 4 people in the car, even if you can't really seat 4 people, but let's say you put 4 people, 5 people, you put some luggage, throw some bags in there and increase the weight. How is the car going to perform, right? It's probably not going to do 1.5 seconds, 0 to 60 in 1.5. It might take 2.5 or 3. 3 means it takes twice the amount of time, so it's 100% slower just because I added 2 more people into the vehicle. or it may not even support the fifth person. There's just not enough room to accommodate the fifth person. But if you took some other car, like a SUV, right? Let's say a Ford F350, and again, I have no idea about a lot of these cars. Certainly not about the SUV, not the SUV, the pickup trucks. Sorry, pickup trucks, right? I don't know anything about them, but I know enough that they are big. They seat a lot more people, and they have a bed, so you can transport a lot of stuff as well. So now that car, it actually can take more people, more luggage, more weight. It doesn't certainly do 1.5 seconds, right? It probably does, I don't know, like 5-6 seconds, whatever the number is. So in that weird example, you could say that the truck is scalable, but it's not exactly performant, right? So take it for whatever it means. All that I was trying to say in a long-winded fashion is, in the example of this car, those could be mutually exclusive. But when it comes to engineering and software systems, I've not seen that mutual separation. And what I mean by that is, a system is either performant or it's not. And if it's not, you make it performant, and then you improve and make it scalable, right? Maybe it's performant, but it's not scalable. That's a second set of problems. So I see them as a little bit linear. You first improve the performance, and then you go improve the scalability, at least in my personal experience. And I'm trying to think of a case where I was asked not to worry about the performance of those applications, but was hired to improve the scalability of the applications, right? I've done a ton of work, a good amount of work in the space of performance tuning and optimization across a variety of stacks over the years. But every time I think of it, there's always been improving performance before improving scalability. But that doesn't always have to be the case, and I can think of some examples, right? Because as how you solve these two problems is kind of a not different, but it's a much lengthier topic, so I don't know if I can get to it within the 10-minute mark that I'm trying to keep these videos under. But improving the performance of your applications is quite different. The approach you would take to doing that would be very different from the approach you would take to improving the scalability of those same applications. Now, I think that's a very interesting topic, but let me pick that up in the next video. That way, we can hit the ground running within the first 10 seconds and dig a whole lot deeper into the aspects of those improvements. Happy Valentine's Day, and before I end the video, make sure you sign up on snowpal.com. Stay organized, use it at work, school, college, for your travel plans, event planning, whatever it is that you want to use it for. Just look us up, download the apps from the Play Store and mobile App Store, and also use us on the web. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.